What's going on, everybody? Today we got a three-step process to make some Nashville hot chicken wings. Let's get started. So for these Nashville hot chicken wings, we're gonna kind of blend together different methods you've heard of people when they make kind of a Nashville hot chicken. But remember, we're doing this as a smoked wing today. So step one is let's get that pickle brine going. All right, so for these Nashville hot chicken wings today, we're gonna start process a little early. I got about 2 pounds of wings here. I've put into a Ziploc bag. Take some pickle juice. We're gonna pour that pickle juice right inside that bag. Not a ton of pickle juice there. Get it kind of closed up nice and tight, and we're gonna get this in the refrigerator for about 1 to 2 hours, and then we'll come and do our next process. So about 2 hours later, we'll get things out of that pickle brine, and now we're gonna add our Nashville hot seasoning. So you can make your own Nashville hot dry rub seasoning, or you can use one that's pre-made. Let me show you what we're gonna do. All right, so we've pulled those wings back out the fridge here. I drain that pickle juice, kind of just pat them dry real quickly here with a paper towel, get a little bit of that moisture off, but I don't need to dry them out completely. And then I'm going to grab my seasoning here in a second. We're going to use that Nashville hot seasoning from Spiceology. I'll put a link for that in our description as well if you can't find it where you shop. So we'll get that and kind of mix it on. Notice I got my glove on one hand, so we'll use that gloved hand here in a moment to kind of mix those wings together. As I mix them together, I realize here I might need just a little bit more seasoning. All right, so we'll finish blending all of those seasonings on that chicken, and then we'll go ahead and put it back in the fridge. All right, so for step 3, we're gonna make ourselves kind of this baste we're gonna use. We're basically gonna use a recipe Stephen Racklin uses in the Barbecue Bible for his smoked chicken wings, all right? I had the pleasure of kind of sneaking up and watching him film an episode a couple years ago at Union Station in St. Louis. So I kind of always been a fan of his. He always does things a little bit differently. I'll put a link in the description for that baste as well and how to find that on his website, all right? But let's make that baste. Okay, so step 3 here will be is we're gonna get this baste going here. So when we get those wings on the smoker, we'll start using this baste after about the first 20 to 30 minutes of those wings are on there. So let's get things going. We're gonna go ahead and get my small saucepan going here at about medium heat, get it warmed up just a little bit, and then we'll get started here in just a moment. All right, so if we're following that Stephen Racklin part of his recipe where he does chicken wings in the Barbecue Bible there, we're gonna use that baste component today, so for this baste, we are going to start with that warmer saucepan, just put in some of the dry ingredients first, let them get more fragrance, and then we'll add some other pieces here. So we're gonna start 2 tablespoons of cayenne pepper, get ourselves a tablespoon granulated garlic, a tablespoon of smoked paprika, a tablespoon of celery salt, and a tablespoon of some of kosher, more of a thicker salt there, so a coarse salt. All right, and we're gonna kind of blend those together just a little bit. Start to smell that fragrance. Let it go for about 2 minutes, and then we'll add the rest of those ingredients. All right, so next we're gonna take 2 tablespoons of dark brown sugar, and then we'll add our last 2 ingredients. So I've got 6 tablespoons here of butter. I've kind of sliced up as well. And then we're gonna go, I'm actually gonna use, his recipe says you can go with a vegetable oil, canola oil, or a peanut oil. I thought I'd try today with a peanut oil. Obviously, you choose the oil that you wanna use the best, but this is a cup of that oil. And we're just gonna leave it at that heat here until we get that butter melted and start to get all those ingredients smelling delicious. And then we'll be ready to take this out. And I got a little method, we're gonna keep it warm on the smoker and use it for that basting method at the same time. Okay, you can see baste is ready to go. I'll go ahead and turn the stove top off there. And then I always use this little cup with the metal handle here. And we'll pour that baste right on in. And then we'll keep it in this outside. I can just set this on the smoker. All right, I'll get the rest of the spices out of here in just a moment as well. And then while it's on the smoker, it's easy then to use my brush and just kind of continuously come in and baste those wings. All right, now it's time to get those wings out of the refrigerator so that we can head outside. So I'm kind of between thunderstorms out there today, so I'm not spending as much time outside, but I got the smoker ready to roll. So let's get those wings out of the refrigerator and get things outside. All right, so I've pulled those wings out, got them on my rack here. Once I pulled them out and got a good look at them, to be honest, I'm gonna put a little bit more of that dry rub on here as well. And then we're gonna take them out on the Oklahoma Joe's Bronco Pro Smoker. And these will probably take about 90 minutes to 2 hours. Let's head on outside. All right, you guys, you probably can hear some thunder out in the distance. Wings are going on the smoker, and we're gonna close that lid, let them go for about 30 minutes, and then we're gonna add the baste for the first time. All right, guys, we're outside now. The storm has kind of passed by. We are about 30 minutes in, so it is time to now baste those wings for the first time. Okay, so I put that baste on the smoker to keep it warm. So we'll just go ahead and quickly try to get these wings a good coating here, so we can get that lid closed back up. Remember, if you're looking, you ain't cooking, so we gotta try to move here with a little bit of speed, but make sure we get enough baste on those wings here to start with. You can hear that sizzle down below. Oh, the smells of that baste are amazing, my friends. Holy cow, especially that, I just think I'm gonna enjoy it with that peanut oil. All right, things are looking good. Let's close up that lid. We'll do it again here in a little bit. All right, folks, let's take a look. It might be time to get those wings off the smoker. I think so. Our Nashville Hot Chicken Wings are ready, my friends. So let's get them plated and ready to go. All right, so we'll get them on that plate this evening. Once they get on that plate, we're gonna add a little bit more of that baste. So talk about basting, I actually ended up basting them probably about 4 times in that process. I just wanted to keep them as flavorful as possible during the entire time. A lot of extra of that baste, I probably made a double batch. You could probably cut that batch in half if you're following this recipe at home with only kind of a small amount of wings like I have here. If you're gonna go with more wings, that'll be perfect amount for you there as well. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get the rest of these on here. Oops. And we're gonna go ahead and grab that baste one more time. This thing's probably super hot because remember, it was on the smoker as well. Just kind of add another layer here, nice and warm. Extra layer of that sauce. Whew, it smells so awesome. Can't wait to give these a taste test here. All right, get ready, my friends, because that peanut oil is almost like hot and spicy as well. All right, so last thing is I'm gonna kind of top it off with just a little bit of freshly chopped cilantro. Give it a little extra taste, as well as just looks good for that presentation. And that, my friends, are our Nashville Hot Chicken Wings that we made with that 3-step process. I'm gonna pause, take a picture, of course, of that cover shot, and then we'll give them a taste test. All right, it's time for that taste test here. There's a few of those drops falling off the trees. Remember, I got that umbrella behind me as we had that thunderstorm earlier, but now things are starting to clear out a little bit. So that oil is so hot, but it smells so good. But let's dive right on in. You know what? Let's get ourselves a little drummy here. Give it a taste test, all right? Notice how that skin did not pull, broke right off. Oh. So I've done a lot of smoked wings. And maybe it's this 3-step process. Maybe it's because I just love like a good Nashville chicken sandwich. Wow, definitely got some kick, some spice to it. But damn, this is delicious. You guys are gonna love this recipe. Remember that pickle brine hit of that dry rub for a little bit longer back in the fridge, and then making that baste. Absolutely amazing. Wow. This is one of the few wings, you don't even need anything to dip it in. You don't need that ranch, you don't need that blue cheese. I mean, you can, but you definitely don't need it. So tasteful. Just a flavor that goes all the way to the bone. Hope you guys enjoy this recipe. Remember, check everything out in the description that you need to learn as well. We'll see you guys again on Bones and Brews.